Yo, what's good, man? Another reaction. Three scary patrol station stories. I'm guessing this like a gas station or something. I ain't never heard patrol station, but you gotta be on point, man. Getting gas at night, especially if you getting gas at night. Like, I remember one time I ain't never had no crazy gas station story or nothing like that, but I was getting gas one time. I know this dude, he was just looking at me or something. I'm like, I don't peeped him. No, you gotta be paying attention for real.
Came in with a tall boy and left, but he kept coming back. One night he inquired my name. After I said, Rob, he kept adding, I like that, while laughing. He took a sip of
Wait,
his
what happened? I even.
For a few months I worked the night shift at a petrol station to make ends meet. This guy started coming in at 2 a.m. about the second or third month. He was 6 feet tall with long, stringy hair. He constantly came in with a tall boy.
What says long, stringy hair? What is stringy hair?
And left, but he kept coming back. One night he inquired my name. After I said, Rob, he kept adding, I like that, while laughing. He took a sip of his new tall boy and left the store.
Nah, you weird.
Adding to himself. He appeared inebriated. That night I wondered if he'd been drinking and driving every time he came to the store. He exited the petrol station while I watched. That makes sense. He always bought alcohol when he came in. After that I saw him virtually every night. Some nights he was drunker than others, and sometimes he'd just lean on a shelf and say nothing. He always brought me a hayrod at night. I inquired his name while he drank the tall boy he just bought on a shelf and stared at a wall. He glanced at me, thought for 5 seconds, then said Bob. Bob is a good false name for lying about your name, in my opinion. I wondered if he thought of it since it rhymes with my name, but I did. Bob, where do you work? His booming laughter reminded me he was intoxicated again. Why doesn't he work? The government fired him. He confronted me with anger. Rob, I like you. You appear in control.
What?
I didn't know what that meant, but he left the store immediately and didn't return for nearly a week. Bob always seemed weird to me, like him. I assumed he was inebriated, but his personal life was definitely incorrect. On a stormy night when there weren't many customers, perhaps due to the storm, I heard the front door chime and someone enter. I swear I believed it was Bob before looking, but I was astonished to find that was him, a scarier Bob. He was wet without an umbrella or rain jacket. He wore a black shirt and jeans with
So just walking in the rain getting wet. Don't care at all. Well, he got a car too. Like, why you so soaked for it, bro? Why you keep coming to this gas station? You should have banned him. Like, nah, don't come back, bro. You can't come back.
long hair. Standing beside the entrance, he stared at the wall. He appeared angry, yet he was staring at nothing, drenched. Bob remarked, I did something really bad. When I inquired whether he was okay, at my question, he looked at me and said, I need somewhere to hide. He disappeared
Nah, you ain't hiding in here.
behind a wall after passing me at the register and entering the short restroom passage. One door opened and closed. I didn't like Bob anymore. I didn't like him at the store, and today he looked like a zombie, and the comment that I must have done something awful was unsettling. Time passed, and Bob never left the toilet. I thought he was drunk again, probably passed out or puking, but I didn't intervene. I remember the store's lights going off, leaving it pitch black. We were in a petrol station during a huge storm with a crazy drunk dude. The torch from behind the counter led me to the inventory and panel board in the back of the store.
Pay attention, bro. Dude, bro. Tell him to get up out of there, man. Ban him from the store.
Bathrooms and the back entrance shared a small corridor. Both lavatory doors were open when I passed, but Bob wasn't in either. When I heard a light trickle and wet shoes squeaking, I halted, heading directly to the panel board through the back door.
Right.
My stomach dropped as I said, Bob, weakly and afraid. I heard squeaks when I pointed my torch there. There was corner. Bob shouted, I'm going to kill you, at me with wide eyes. While he scratched my back, I pulled him off and rushed back through the store's front entrance. I wasn't followed. I wore my rain jacket and hurried to my car. I called 911 from my car and spoke to an operator. I was fine staying on the queue with her. 2 police officers soon entered with me. Bob appeared crouched in a corner in the back room like a crazy animal. After I informed them, he lunged at me, threatened to murder me, and said he'd done something awful earlier. They took him to the police station after I told them he was high. More than a month later, I confirmed this. Bob Martin, guy's real name, beat his ex-wife to death. He may have entered the gas station that night. After that night, I never wanted to work another night shift or any job. Musically perform, I've driven at night often, but not for work. I always stayed out until crazy hours with my old friends. We lost in our late teens and early 20s because we believed it was cool to hang around in parks or parking lots all weekend till 5 a.m. Looking back,
What?
cool, my old friends. We lost in our late teens and early 20s because we believed it was cool to hang around in parks or parking lots all weekend till 5 a.m. Looking back,
Doing
it was
what?
pointless. So I drive at strange hours at night when
You
drunk
said just hanging out in parking lots till 5 a.m. Doing what?
and wild individuals are on the road. A Sunday night, it had to be close to 4 a.m. I wanted. A friend was picked up at the park and driven home. Before driving home, I needed petrol. I liked getting petrol at night since there were no automobiles. I stopped at
Man, I ain't getting, man. Listen, I be moving smart for real. Like, I'm not about to get no gas at night. Me either make sure I'm filled up or just wait until the morning time. Like, I be moving smart for real.
a normal petrol station near my folks' house. A little man with a hood appeared as I walked to pay. He
You
froze
thinking
and
just because it's late, nobody out. Like, come on now. Somebody out there for sure.
glanced at me as I passed. I kept strolling like a crackhead after asking him what he was looking at. In the building, I paid the clerk for my gas and bought a lottery ticket. After returning outside, I filled up as expected. After finishing, I drove home in my car. I heard something behind me in the car halfway home. The rearview mirror showed someone peering at me from the back seat. I nearly fainted screaming. I braked hard and shouted, "Get out!" It was the petrol station guy.
Whoa, wait. Oh, you saying dude broke in your car, but you left your doors unlocked? I don't never see the one thing about me. I don't never leave my doors on. I don't care where I'm at, bro. Like, I'm at the gas station. I'm going inside real quick. Doors locked. Not leaving it unlocked. Bro, I never, bro. Make sure my doors locked. All that. I ain't
Home.
gone.
The
Had to
rearview
leave his doors unlocked. That's why he snuck in your car.
mirror showed someone peering at me from the back seat. I nearly fainted screaming. I braked hard and shouted,
Well, I know he damn near cried. Oh, who that?
"Out!" It was the petrol station guy. I cried for aid and opened my doors, hoping some would come out. Some porch lights in the neighborhood turned on, and some doors opened. The man exited my car and stated, "I could have slit your throat." I didn't follow him as more people came out and he ran down the street. People approached me to check on me, saying I was. A stranger was in my back seat and out of sight. Driving after a crackhead wasn't my thing. I thanked the helpers and drove home, making sure I didn't see him again. I'd never done something so scary. Atlanta experienced this in the mid-1960s. I was 8 or 9. My father taught in
He going through these stories kind of like too quick. Like, damn, slow down. I could barely even tell. Like, if you switching.
Atlanta neighborhood far from home. I rode with him every day because we went to the same school. We had to wake up early every morning and depart before sunrise. We filled up at a small independent petrol station many times a week. The first car full service began when the station opened. A booth employee filled your tank and washed your windows. He always had money in his pocket and a coin counting device on his belt. Small bathrooms were behind the
Man, he said somebody from the gas station come on and fill your car up for you and wash your windows like a worker. I ain't never heard like what?
always had money in his pocket and a coin counting device on his belt. Small bathrooms were behind the pumps. I regularly used the restroom when we stopped there in the morning since it was nice. A long drive one morning brought us to the station before sunrise, which was vacant. Only traffic made noise from the road.
You think it's vacant?
The booth and station were empty, so my dad honked the horn many times without answer. We discussed potential issues. My dad believed the attendant was in the toilet, but when he wasn't, he worried he had car trouble and couldn't get to work. We waited a few minutes, but no cars arrived. I said I had to go to the toilet and put my hand on the door handle to go, but my dad said we couldn't wait and I could go. After it grew worse, I had to stop at random petrol stations for coffee to keep going. Probably the third time, I was exhausted and wanted to fill up, so I pulled into the first petrol station on the deserted side roads. This petrol station was what? Maybe Sunoco or Shell. Another car was in the lot, so I parked near a pump. The clerk and another man were walking the aisles as I entered. Poured myself coffee from the maker. The pacing guy said, "Be careful, it's hot," and left. Because I wasn't in the mood, I ignored his weak
Come on, man. That's it for the vid, though, man. Always pay attention. People don't be paying attention to their surroundings for real. That's how stuff be happening.